Hey guys, what's up? It's Charlie here, and today we're going to be looking at 10 photos that'll make you cry. So as we know from other videos, lots of photos are taken all the time. Some of them are kind of creepy, some are mysterious, but some will make you cry. These are the saddest and most powerful photos in the world, so get ready. But before the waterworks start flowing, be sure to subscribe and press the notification bell too. Coming in at number 10, we have Microsoft Word. So at your school, I'm sure you learned Microsoft Word. It's one of the most basic things you learn on the computer. Well, one teacher in Ghana had a problem. He needed to teach his kids how to use Microsoft Word. However, their school was way too poor to afford any computers. But this teacher goes above and beyond, and he began drawing out Microsoft Word on a blackboard. He drew a completely perfect illustration and even used different colored chalks. He then labeled it like a diagram to teach his kids how to use it without actually having it. Now, of course, this isn't as good as having the real thing, but it's very impressive he did this. Now, the photos went viral and some people found it kind of funny, but at the same time it's also kind of sad this school can't afford any computers. Well, although this is a sad image, there is a silver lining. Microsoft actually saw these images and sent out computers to this classroom. Now the entire school has state-of-the-art Microsoft computers, including Microsoft Word. This may seem like a simple gesture, but in Ghana it's a very uncommon thing for schools to have such great computers. But this is still a very powerful photo, not only because it shows the teacher being so great, but also because some kids don't get the same opportunities as others. Next up is baby. So when you join the army or the Marines, you have to sacrifice a lot. Well, one of the main things soldiers sacrifice is families. They don't get to see their family for sometimes years and occasionally miss out on big moments like first words and first walks. Well, in this dad's case, he missed out on the birth of his baby son. However, when he finally returned home, he saw his son for the first time ever. Somebody was there to capture the moment on camera, and as you can see, it's pretty intense. The emotion this dad is showing is unlike any other. Just imagine missing the birth of your own kid, and then not being able to see them for the first few months of their life. This really drives home the point that for soldiers, when they go away, they may never come back, which is really scary. One thing's for sure, this is one powerful photo. Next up is dreams do come true. So as a kid, we likely all had a dream job. However, it's likely not what we do as adults, as it was probably something like a spaceman or a soccer player. Well, in these brothers' case, one wanted to become a fireman and the other a Navy officer. One day when they were kids, their mom took this photo of them playing as their dream jobs. However, 20 years later, they actually did have those dream jobs. One son had become a fireman while the other had become a Navy officer. They were looking through old photos one day when they found this one, and that was when they decided to recreate their photo. This photo is really nice as it shows dreams do come true. And also, as they both do such heroic jobs, it's really nice to see these kids making a big difference. There's a lot of cringy family photo recreations out there online, but this one is a really nice one. Next up is North and South Koreans. So as you know, South Korea is pretty Western, and you can come and go as you like. However, in North Korea it's not the same, and citizens can only leave the country for a few reasons and only very occasionally. One reason they can leave the country is for work. Well, for 1 week, one old North Korean man was permitted to leave the country and go to South Korea for work. While he was there, he visited his brother, who he hadn't seen in 40 years. This is because when he was a teenager, his mother and brother fled North Korea to go south. They caught up for a few days while he was in North Korea, but when he came to leave, it was very emotional. It was just like when they were teenagers and they were separated all over again. As you can see, the North Korean guy's waving on the train as he goes back to his hometown. However, his brother, who will remain in South Korea, was crying as he won't get to see his brother maybe ever again. Just imagine only being able to see your family once every 40 years. This is really sad, as these guys may never see each other again. And it really does go to show how sad it is that North Korea won't let their citizens leave. Next up is late wedding photo. So nowadays, wedding photography is huge. There's literally people who do it for a career. However, back 40 years ago, it wasn't such a big thing. And also, only very rich people had cameras anyway. Well, this Chinese couple got married 60 years ago and were never very rich. Thanks to this, they never had a wedding photo. That was until 2014 when they finally had enough to hire someone to take their photo. They dressed up in their same wedding suits that they used all those years ago. The couple said even though they're now in their 80s, it's still so nice to finally have a wedding photo. It may be 60 years late, but hey, at least they have their wedding photo. They've been going strong for 60 years, so they must be doing something right. Next up is good cop. So recently, especially in America, we've been seeing a lot of bad cops. There seems to be a big problem with police brutality, which always seems to be caught on camera. That's why it's always refreshing to see a cop doing something good. One day in New York, a man was waiting for a taxi. As he was waiting, he saw a cop walk up to a homeless guy who was sitting in front of a shoe store. Now at first, he thought he was going to give him trouble and tell him to move. But instead, he went into the shoe store and actually bought the homeless guy a pair of shoes. You see, the homeless guy's shoes had been stolen and it was very cold. So the cop decided to do a very good deed and buy this guy some shoes. This just goes to show that there really are good cops out there. And this photo has inspired many people to help out the less fortunate. Next up is Loyal Dog. So it's always incredibly sad when a soldier passes away. It's very sad for their friends, family, and of course their fellow soldiers. But sometimes people forget it's also sad for their fellow dog soldiers. Many soldiers have an army dog by them at all times, and when their owner passes away, it's very, very sad. Well, during this soldier's funeral, his army dog actually went and sat underneath his coffin. It's very clear the dog knew what was going on and was sad about it. Somebody captured this very sad and powerful moment on camera, which really shows the relationship between man and dog. And apparently the same dog visits the soldier's grave every single week. Next up is Cancer Dream. So it's terrible when anyone gets cancer, but in some ways it's even worse when a child gets cancer. That is because they've lived for such a short amount of time and their life may be cut short. One day a girl was going through chemotherapy, so she lost all of her hair. That was when her nurses came up with a nice idea to make her feel like a regular kid again. They said she could draw any hairstyle she wants on her mirror. She did just that, and it actually made her very happy. It just goes to show that basic things we take for granted, some kids really enjoy. Kids should be focused on friends and having fun, but this kid simply just wants some hair. The photo is incredibly sad and powerful, and I just hope this kid got better. Next up is Husband and Wife. In 1973, a couple came up with an idea to tell their love story through photography. Each year they took a photo in front of their garden, and they would do it on the same day every year, whether it be raining or sunny. They did this together for 7 years, and every photo is very powerful. They're all very heartwarming, but when you get to photo number 8, things are a bit strange. The wife is gone, and you may be wondering why this is. However, the man of the couple named Ken Griffiths was determined to keep this tradition up, so instead he decided to get his photo alone taken in front of the house. Now it may look kind of sad and lonely, but he says it's a way to commemorate his wife. He says if he keeps doing the photos, her spirit lives on, which I think is really nice. Of course, this is incredibly sad and may even make you cry, but at least this guy found a way to remember his wife forever. Next up is Kidney for Wife. Now this is a very powerful story. One day 74-year-old Deanne Winters was told she had a stage 5 kidney failure. She needed a new kidney pronto, but she was far down on the waiting list. It was looking like she wasn't going to be able to get her kidney, which would mean she would pass away. However, her husband Wayne Winters was not gonna let this happen. He attached a massive sign onto himself saying "Need kidney for wife." He then walked up and down a highway for days on end. It took a while and it seemed hopeless until finally the media took an interest. Thanks to the massive media coverage and people being so sad about this, his wife got massive kidney offers. Luckily they found a match pretty soon and now his wife is A-OK. But it's a pretty amazing story that his love for his wife literally saved her life. And he even said that some motorists felt so bad for him that they actually began crying themselves. Let me know in the comments if you cried during any of these images. And be sure to check out the poll in the top right corner to vote for the saddest and most powerful image on this list. If you want some more amazing videos, then check out my second channel. There's some epic life hack videos on there and one will be on screen in a moment, so click it to check it out. But as always, thanks for watching. Check out some more videos on screen right now, leave a like if you enjoyed, and if you haven't already, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to Top 10s.